Hi, welcome to the Celebrity Gossip channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Grammys and some of the biggest snubs and also some artists who are the most deserving of their awards and deserve to win. Right, so obviously, as you know, the Grammys happened last night, and of course, like usual, there were a lot of headlines, and some people felt like certain artists were deserving of certain Grammys that they won, whilst other people felt like certain artists were snubbed. And me personally, right, I was happy that Beyonce was obviously fortunate enough to win another three more Grammys, totaling her total Grammys of 32. So now she's now won a total of 32 Grammys, which makes her the most awarded Grammy award-winning artist in history. So congrats to her for that. Not only that, some people, some of the fans, and including myself, did kind of feel like it was a little bit weird how they were promoting her appearance, that she would be appearing at the Grammys, but only to give her the awards in the R&B categories. Not saying she didn't deserve to win in the R&B categories, but I just don't understand, how is she the most awarded Grammy award-winning artist but has never won Album of the Year? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Renaissance is one of the most talked about albums of 2022 and also one of the most successful albums of 2022. So it just doesn't make sense to me how they gave it to Harry Styles. Now, in my opinion, even though he did have the stats, I do kind of feel like more people enjoyed her album more. In my opinion, I do feel like her album was better and more positively received. Because even though at the start, when it first was released, there were a lot of mixed reviews. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But a few weeks later, people were more into the album because they realized it's a summer type of album, and her album is dance music, and it was made for the summer. So I feel like her album was received more. So I don't understand why they gave it to Harry Styles. They gave Album of the Year to Harry Styles, so that confused me. Right. So let's talk about some of the awards. Right. So for Record of the Year, Lizzo won for About Damn Time. For Album of the Year, like I said, they gave it to Harry's House. Some people kind of felt like Beyonce should have won for Album of the Year, and I agree because I feel like it was a better album. For Song of the Year, they gave it to Just Like That. I've never heard of that song in my life. I don't know who that man is or whether that's a woman, Bonnie Brat. I'm not sure if that's a man or a woman. But anyway, moving on from that. But yeah, and another thing, if you remember last year, a lot of people kind of felt like Nicki Minaj got snubbed by the Grammys because she had one of the biggest songs of the year. So I did also feel like she was a snub because she should have been nominated for Song of the Year and Record of the Year. Because her single actually outsold some of the songs that got nominated. And I've never heard of Just Like That. I don't know who that man or woman is. But anyway, for Best New Artist, they gave it to Samara Joy. I don't know who that is either. For Best Pop Vocal Performance, they gave it to Adele for Easy on Me. I think that's deserved. I'm not mad at Lizzo winning for About Damn Time. The record did do well. It went #1 in the US and other countries. I don't think Harry Styles deserved Album of the Year. I'm not gonna lie. His album was just mid. I didn't really care for As It Was. That song is very boring. But yeah, I wasn't really impressed by him winning Album of the Year. But he did have the stats, so I can understand why he won. But for me, something that really rung volume to me is the fact that only 11 black artists have actually won Album of the Year. So that's when I kind of really realized that there is a lot of politics that goes into the Grammys, because Stevie Wonder, he won Album of the Year in the 70s. He won it in 74, 75, and 77. Then Michael Jackson, he won Album of the Year in 1984 for Thriller. Lionel Richie won Album of the Year in 1985. Quincy Jones won it in 1991. Whitney Houston won it for The Bodyguard in 1994. In 2004, The Outkast won it for their album, The Speaker Box. And Ray Charles won it in 2005. And then John Baptiste, I don't know who that. I don't know these people down. I know Michael Jackson, I know Quincy Jones, I know Whitney Houston, but I know Lionel Richie. But I don't know who John Baptiste is. Why are they giving Album of the Year to these and Song of the Year to random people? This is the thing that pisses me off. Is like I said, there's too much politics involved. Can you think about that? The Grammys have been on for over 50 years, and only 11 black artists have won Album of the Year, 4 being black women. So that's the thing that really irritates me, is why is there so much politics involved? Beyonce has 7 albums. She is the most Grammy award winning artist in history, yet has never touched album of the year. That's ridiculous. That's really ridiculous. So the fact that they were announcing that she would attend, only to snub her from all the major categories, that really irritated me. That really irritated me. So yeah, but anyway, moving on from that, Adele won Easy on Me. She won that for best pop vocal performance. I think that's deserved because Easy on Me is a good song and the vocals on that song were incredible. Sam Smith, who's this woman? Kim Petras. They won for their song. What's it called? Something Unholy or something like that. Um, it's not a bad. It's a good song. I think her vocals were a little bit off. She used way too much autotune on that song. I feel like Sam's vocals were better, so I don't think she deserved a Grammy for that, but he did because his vocals were better. Kim just used a bit too much autotune. It was kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, for best traditional pop vocal album, Michael Bublé won that. I haven't heard of him in years. But anyway, I don't know how I feel about that because I've not listened to that project, so I can't really critique that. But he won for that. The best pop vocal album, it went to Harry Styles. Well, okay. For best dance electronic recording, it went to Beyonce's "Break My Soul." That's deserved because it's a great dance song. For best dance electronic music album, it went to Beyonce's "Renaissance," also deserved. For best contemporary instrumental album, it went to Empire Central's "Snarky Puppy." For best rock performance, it nope, don't care. For best R&B performance, it went to "Hours and Hours" by Money Long. For best traditional R&B performance, it went to Beyonce's "Plastic Off My Sofa" or "Plastic Off the Sofa." And Beyonce also won best R&B song for "Cuff It," which is also deserved because "Cuff It" that's a bop. That's a very good song. For best R&B performance, it went to Kendrick Lamar's "The Heat," "The Heart" Part 5. For best Latin rock alternative album, it went to Rosalia's. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that word. I don't know what that is. Matu Miami. I don't speak Spanish, so no one get offended. But anyway, Bad Bunny won for Unvirando Sinti. Oh Lord, Bad Bunny won for his album. I don't know what that shit says, but anyway, he won for his album. Um, he won for best musica urban. We're gonna need a translation, but yeah, he won for his album. I did want to also congratulate Viola Davis. She is now officially an EGOT winner. If you don't know what an EGOT winner is, it's when you win an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony Award. So she is officially an EGOT award winner because she did win a Grammy last night. So congrats to her. She won a Grammy for her audio book that she put out. Congrats to Viola Davis on her EGOT win. But yeah, so congrats to all of them. I do think some people did not deserve, not gonna lie. I'm not trying to ruin no one's moment. But yeah, now I'm gonna talk about some of the snubs. Yeah, so like I said before, some people felt like Beyonce was snubbed out of the major categories because even though she did win three, like I said, she's never won album of the year, so she's one of the snubs that happened. Also, I'm not seeing Doja Cat on here, so I don't think Doja Cat won anything, and she had 5 nominations. And she put out some good songs last year. Not only that, obviously, I said I felt like Nicki Minaj was also snubbed because something that really pissed me off is how they had some sort of hip hop tribute at the Grammys, and they had everyone there. They had Lil Wayne. I'm gonna talk about him in a second. They had Lil Kim, etc. And all these different rappers, and people kind of felt like, how are you celebrating 50 years of hip hop, but then you have the queen of hip hop, and you're not even inviting her, you're not even having her perform, and she dominated female rap. It just comes across as very disrespectful. So that's the thing that pissed me off. Like, no, I'm not trying to look. Kim is a legend, Missy a legend, but we all know who the queen of rap is. Like, let's just be honest here. So it doesn't make any sense to me to invite them, even though they are legends, when you have someone who's still dominating and you're not inviting her. So they've made it clear and say that they don't really like Nicki Minaj, because she had number 2 song, had a number 1 song in the country. She didn't get a nomination. So it's like they've made it clear as day that they really don't like her. They don't even have to hide it anymore. So they ended up having this clip where they were actually playing Super Freaky Girl, and a lot of fans were pissed off because they were like, how are you playing the song in your venue but won't nominate it? That doesn't make any sense. which I agree, because I felt like there was some songs that got nominated, like that ABC song. I don't know who wrote it, but that "Forget You and Your Mama and Your Sister and Your Dog," like that song. Because they also nominated that song, and I felt like that song should not have been nominated, but yet they wouldn't nominate Super Freaky Girl. But yeah, speaking of Lil Wayne, like I said, some fans were a bit irritated at him because they felt like you are Nicki's mentor, you are someone who she's admired for a long time, and she's just called them out for snubbing her and disrespecting her, yet you're performing at the same place that has basically blacklisted the artist you signed. So some fans were irritated by that. Now, I do understand what they're saying because what they're saying is very, very valid, you know? Because even when I heard that, I was like, how is he performing there? But I do understand at the same time, it's still the Grammys. A lot of people respect the Grammys and have a lot of respect for them because a lot of people still care about that, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I still feel like Nicki still wants to win one. Even though I don't want her to submit because I feel like they clearly don't respect her. You know, if they're gonna keep uh, blackballing her and not nominating her when she's clearly deserving of nominations. So even though I do understand where they're coming from, I do feel like Lil Wayne has given a lot of loyalty to her. You know, like he was there during her hate train. He gave her features. He collaborated with her when a lot of artists, not to say a lot of artists weren't collaborating with her in 2018, because they were. But what I'm saying is they weren't, you know, publicly defending her. You know, like you're seeing now how a lot of artists will say, oh, they're Nicki fans, or will reach out for collaborations in 2023. Back in 2018, a lot of them wouldn't mind working with her, but they would not defend her when she was getting scrutinized or would not associate themselves with her a lot because she was being blacklisted. But now that she doesn't have a lot of people sabotaging her the same way she did back in the day, now they want to be Nicki fans, and so I feel like he has shown a lot of loyalty because I do recall even Drake, no offense, a lot of people that she like was close to over the years, they distanced themselves from her when she was getting blacklisted. But Lil Wayne was one of the only real ones that actually stuck by her. So I can't completely say that he's not loyal, but at the same time, I do understand where they're coming from because most people probably would not, be associating themselves with, a publication or whatever that has blacklisted someone that they call their sister or their brother. So I do understand where they're coming from. But anyway, the final topic I wanted to talk about. There was a video that went viral of Offset attacking or allegedly attacking Quavo and them fighting. But before this was reported, there was apparently TMZ was reporting that they had an altercation at the Grammys. And then obviously after we saw two videos go viral, one where you couldn't really tell if it was him or not because someone was filming from a bit far away, so they weren't really zoomed in on him, so you had to really zoom in order to tell. I personally cannot tell, so the first video I am going to say allegedly, but the second one you basically heard Cardi B screaming, both of y'all are wrong, both of y'all are wrong. So here are the videos. This is the first video that went viral.
Shit. Shit.
This is the second video that went viral, and you can hear Cardi B screaming in the background.
Cameras caught this blow up from presenter Cardi B. So what went down? It appears tensions boiled over between the remaining members of Migos, Cardi's husband Offset and his cousin Quavo.
I heard you back here settling some stuff.
The only thing I settled was my outfit, honey.
So here's my thing, right? I do understand that obviously their family has been going through a lot since they lost their brother. But the only thing that kind of confused me is I didn't understand why Offset was obviously going on Twitter and stuff like that, denying that him and Quavo had any issue when he allegedly was just fighting with him backstage at the Grammys. That doesn't really make any sense. Like why lie allegedly if you know you're gonna get exposed for it a few hours later? So I thought that was weird. But am I surprised? No. I'm a bit disappointed, only because you'd think after losing someone that it would bring the family together, but clearly there is still some tension there. I feel like there is a lot of unresolved beef, and I think they just need to be adults here and grow up and just be like, look, we don't need to be beefing here. This is a time where the family should be together and grow up, because that should teach you after losing someone that look, life is too short to be holding grudges. Okay, whatever petty drama they have, it's not that deep. I should hope not. Unless if Offset really did sleep with Sweetie, allegedly. But other than that, I really don't think whatever issue they have is really that deep. But I did hear allegedly that Quavo felt some type of way against Cardi B because apparently a lot of people, including himself allegedly, believe that she is the reason that the Migos broke up, because a lot of people believe that Cardi B was the one who was in Offset's ear telling him, oh, you should go solo, you should do this. So a lot of people believe that, and allegedly Quavo thinks the same way. Now, obviously, I don't know whether that's true, but if that was true, and him allegedly sleeping with his ex, I could understand why he could be a bit pissed off at Offset. I'm not gonna lie, because that would obviously irritate me. But yeah, anyway, I hope they can make up, because this whole situation is just a bit unfortunate. But anyway, and also just to let you know, I am still working on a career breakdown series. I will be uploading episode 1 either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So I'm just giving you a heads up on that. And like I said, let me know if there's any celebrities or public figures or activists or etc. that you want me to talk about on the series. But yeah, that's all in this video. Tell me what you think about the topics discussed in the video. Do you think Lizzo deserved to win Record of the Year, which hasn't been won by a black woman since Whitney Houston back in 1994? Do you think Lizzo deserved to win that Grammy? Do you think Beyonce was snubbed like some of the fans, or do you think she should have won just 3 awards? Also, let me know what you think about Offset and Quavo. Do you think that they actually have an issue? Now, that was actually them, or do you think Cardi B was just yelling at someone else and wasn't necessarily yelling at Offset and Quavo? Let me know what you think about the comments down below.